But I mean, of course, that's all we want to see is Ninjas in Pajamas be the team that we expect them to be, and force this series to a game 3. So, what are some of the things that they need to fix here, coming from game 1 to potentially get to that game 3?
Mentality, I think, is the main one, right? Like,
Mm-hmm.
try and play on the front foot yourself. I know that sounds just play on the front foot, lol, but like you need to at least try and make it look like. Don't make VP.Prodigy feel like they're in a safe bubble, right? That isn't going to be burst. You have to try and play on their side of the map. Try and play, make plays, make these aggressive smokes on the map.
Mm-hmm.
Because if not, then it feels like they just got out itemized. Like this Naga going Midas was really good. Because the TB doesn't match with the Midas, so all of a sudden he's falling further and further behind. I'm not surprised this Doom got banned out though. I think this hero is. I think this hero is too strong at the moment, personally.
Yeah.
Like, I'd be really surprised if it after like another few days that it doesn't get either first phase banned or picked every single game. Like, and even now, most of the time it is. I just think it offers too much, and they go back to the Undying. Okay.
Yeah, the Doom has definitely been one of the staples right now of everybody's draft. You're usually banning it if you can't pick it first. For Ninjas in Pajamas, they banned out the Venomancer as well as the Lina. A little bit surprising there on the bans, but we'll see if VP.Prodigy can kind of play around that. It's not something that
VPP love playing this Lina though. They really like this hero. That's just one of the picks that they absolutely love, right? And if they were going to open with Undying as well, like this Lina ban makes more sense because like Lina's really good at keeping her distance in the laning stage, at least, especially. And Wind Range is kind of the same thing, where you can offer this constant poke against the Undying without, like, even though he decays you, there's not really ever any kill potential because he can't chase you down. Like, if he ever gets in melee range, you just pop Wind Run anyway.
And just get out.
You're fine.
And the thing with Undying, and I speak about this a lot when we see Undying, it's either one of those heroes that has like a lot of impact in the game, or the laning stage, the first couple minutes or so has that impact, and then that's it. You don't really feel much from that hero. So it feels like it like is on the scale of all or nothing sometimes with this Undying, and they followed up with the Dark Willow, which I kind of like the combination in these two supports, but even just seeing the Windrunner on VP.Prodigy after game 1, like I feel like favor the Windrunner.
Yeah, I know what you're saying, and I'm a little bit worried for Ninjas at the moment with this support duo. Like, they're both decent in laning stage. They offer really good team fight. Like, you have the Terrorize, you have the Tombstone, looks great. But like things like the Wave Clear, which is another concept we talked about last game, these heroes don't have that at all. They can't push these waves out. There's such low. Like, Willow can with Bedlam, but like you have to be up in the creep wave to offer that the Wave Clear.
Ooh,
that's
okay.
Ooh.
Lifestealer we've seen banned a couple times, but not a hero we're seeing too often at the moment.
It is a hero that doesn't care about Willow at all, though. Like, you just pop the rage, and then it's it's whatever, isn't it? I mean, a lot of the heroes that Willow likes to play with, Lifestealer does well up against in the laning stage. So, seems like it's a bit of a weird one, but I think VPP have always been like that, though. Like, recently, they'll just pick whatever they want to play. It's less about. They have a few heroes that they're just comfortable with, that they're not afraid to pick.
Mm-hmm. Maybe ban out the Bat Rider.
Yeah,
we've been talking about that hero. It feels not the same as Doom, but definitely in that similar, like, you need to ban this hero kind of thing. I don't think it's going to be a first phase too much, but it's second phase ban almost every game.
Yeah, it reminds me of like the AM and something as well, like these kind of heroes that always get second phase banned, it feels like. Because we saw Nigma pick it earlier in the series against OG, I think it was game 1. And they picked it first phase as like the last pick overall, and it felt like it did so much work. And we saw it yesterday as well. Like, there's certain opening pairs that just can't deal with Bat Rider at all, and Undying Willow is definitely one of those pairings. Like, imagine Undying trying to lane against a Bat Rider. Like, it just doesn't work, right?
It's just not going to happen.
No, because like you want to be able to bully out the opposition offlaner, but unfortunately, Bat Rider just runs at you with Firefly and Napalms.
So, what are you looking to do with these supports? Like, with the Dark Willow and Undying, is there something that comes to your mind right away that you're thinking, these two supports are gonna back up this core really well. Like for Prodigy, they've picked up a core and a support. Like I could still see them going back for that Jakiro again. I know they really do love that Jakiro, and Ein played it so well in the first game. But for Ninjas of Pajamas, like what comes to mind for you?
For Ninjas, like you want to play the Willow somebody that like offers this aggressive potential. So we've seen things like Centaur in the past, like Axe is another one. But this is what I was saying. Both these heroes don't lane well against the Lifestealer necessarily. So I'm interested to see maybe like they go for Nature's Prophet or something on Ninjas. Could be like it's a hero that they play on multiple roles as well. Like Supreme plays it, Saberlight plays it as well in the 3. So it lanes up okay up against Lifestealer as well. I think for VPP, they have okay catch. Like they don't really have any team fight at the moment. It's the big thing for them. But they have 3 picks to sort it out still. Like it's not like it's a big worry. I'm just trying to think of things that they might need.
Well, who are they gonna? What's gonna be their vehicle here for Prodigy for that lifesteal? Like they could go to the Centaur if they really wanted to.
Yeah, they could. It doesn't do great against Undying in lane.
Yeah.
The Nature's Prophet still being in the pool is like pretty good for both teams, honestly. Because Undying doesn't really deal with the trees very well in the laning stage either, if it's the Nature's Prophet 3. But I'd be very surprised if VPP didn't pick up their 5 next. I think something like Disruptor still being in the pool is another thing they could go for. Because how they played on the front foot so much last game. If they can carry on that tempo going into the second game here, Disruptor loves being on that kind of support hero that's on the front foot, constantly finding the +1s with a glimpse. They could go for something like a Bane as well if they really wanted, which is a bit more of a like standard laning support. And Ein loves that hero as well.
We've seen a lot of success come from Banes. Having that setup with even just like a Nightmare Fiend's Grip setup with the Windrunner there, it seems like a solid combo for you. And we've seen a lot of 5 succeed with using that Bane. They banned that Beastmaster, so Control getting taken out as that Beastmaster gets banned. Storm Spirit more so the mobility, as well as giving that vehicle driver there for the Lifestealer. And then a Lycan ban from Prodigy, so banning 3-1 positions from VPP.
Yeah, that Beastmaster ban's interesting. I was trying to think of reasons why they would potentially do that.
Ooh.
Yeah, there's the Disruptor. Nice. I think that's really good, though. Like the AoE silence is really good against Willow as well. If you can ever get it on top of her, completely takes her out of the fight. I think it's a decent lane with Lifestealer as well. Like you can play on the front foot, you can play aggressive, but you can leave the Lifestealer to farm if you need to, and you can just go and run around with the rest of your team. What do they go for on NiP though? Like because this support duo, like it doesn't show a huge amount of what they want to do. Okay, they go for their lane counter and the Slardar. Saberlight loves this hero as well. He's really good at it. It's a really strong laning partner, like with the Willow. And the Corrosive Haze is really good against Lifestealer later on in the game, just to try and get through that. He's not a massively high armor hero, the Lifestealer, so...
I will say one of the things that worried me about Saberlight in the previous game was the stuns that he was missing with the Blink Dagger. So obviously he's coming into a hero here like the Slardar, who is that similar Blink stun kind of hero, but...
And I think whenever you see that Slardar as well, you have to be thinking about what they want to play as their core with the Slardar. I mean, we saw Nigma play like the PA earlier, which was really good, and that tends to be historically like the big pairing, the PA and the Slardar. But I think up against Lifestealer, it's a good core matchup as well.
I think the one tough thing about picking up the PA is just maybe even the fear of the Disruptor, just getting hit with that Static Storm, being locked in, Kinetic Field comes through, and all of a sudden you're just potentially mincemeat.
If you think about it like that, though, that's the same. The same happens to any hero. Like, it's like you talking about you don't want to pick certain heroes against Doom. Like, you have to pick them anyway because somebody's going to get doomed. Like, you were talking about this Mars yesterday, weren't you?
Yeah, it was a hero that we saw a lot of in the Chinese event. It seemed like it was a first pick every single time, and now a lot more offlaners have kind of come into the mix, which I love. I like seeing a bigger pool of heroes when it's in the the midst of the patch. We were seeing a lot of Mars on like 2 or 3 offlaners, it felt like. But the Mars is one of those heroes. Get a Blink Dagger, have that Blink Arena, not necessarily what it needs to be first, but get that Blink Arena, have yourself that control, and potentially be that carrier there for the Lifestealer. And then, of course, we see that Phantom Assassin, like we were just talking about, come through with the Sword Art. So they need just a mid, but now you've got a lot of this minus armor here for ninjas. And not only that, yeah, I said maybe you're scared of the Disruptor, or you throw one dagger and you kill him. So
yeah, it gives them really good Roche potential as well with the Slardar PA. Like it's good, but they need some this Kunkalina type hero, right? That allows them to make sure they don't lose the early game too hard.
Actually, ban the Kunkka too.
I mean, the Kunkka's also really good for VPP though. Like FM played it really well last game. They need a Halberd hero mid, I think, as well, which would be really nice. Like Lifesteal is probably going to build a Halberd at some point this game. You would assume at least.
Thinking about what mids would be good here for, really both teams. Void Spirit still being available, offers that control up with the Aether Remnant, potentially going into a Yules. They've already.
I mean, they could go for Ember on ninjas maybe as well. Yeah. It's okay.
They can go for Ember, I would say, for both teams, couldn't they?
They could. I think it's a better pick for ninjas though, because it's they don't see the matchup either, so Ember's just an okay pick. Yeah, they banned the Viper as well. They could pick something like DK, potentially, and would be okay, but DK's a little bit more susceptible to just getting a hard lane matchup. Yeah, and there goes the Ember ban. Oh, wow.
Wow. Visage. Which we've seen Ninjas of Pajamas pick every now and then, but we'll see if it works out here. I feel like I've seen Visage games that just kind of get dumpstered, but I feel like he also adds to that minus armor, like early Medallion, potentially an early Solar Crest for him, if that's the build that they want to go on the Visage. So really dealing with a lot of early damage as well. That Soul Assumption early can be pretty disgusting.
So they have stacked up really heavily on the physical damage though, right?
Yeah.
So it allows VPP to itemize a little bit easier, because as long as they build items to deal with the physical damage, there's only one route they can go for, really, with that. I'm trying to think what they want to pick, though, that lanes up against the Visage. This is why they've banned the Viper, though, as well, right? Obviously, the break would have been really nice against the Visage on top of all just the raw magic damage. I was thinking maybe something like Timber as well, but they can be difficult to play against all the minus armor.
Yeah. Although I will say there's not a lot of control when it comes down to it.
Yeah, and they lack the raw right-click damage. Oh.
Well, when you're trying to right-click, it might be a problem. Now you've got the Pugna here for VP.Prodigy, and that's going to round out the draft and be your mid, right? Yeah, they picked up FN and put him on the Pugna.
It's a really good Pugna game. If anybody ever tries to get focused down by this physical damage by the Slardar PA, he can just decrypt them, try and keep them alive. It's really good to use offensively on them as well before they get BKBs. Slardar and PA aren't going to have these BKBs until at least 20 minutes into the game, right? And VPP, if you look at their lineup, they want to be playing on the front foot earlier than that. We saw how quickly they were willing to try and take towers last game as well. I think the Pugna is susceptible to just being blown up really quickly, and I think there's a lot of pressure on Crit to offer the level of team fight they need, and the control. Because if this Pugna doesn't get approached properly in the fight, then I think he's going to control so much of the damage output that ninjas can do. So possibly see a relatively early blink on Crit to allow him to get to that backline, but it's so difficult.
Is it early Blink Dagger here for the Mars, in your opinion? Try and get that control?
I imagine he'll probably go Vanguard phase, then back for the Blink again, I would assume. Yeah. Which tends to be the standard build we've seen from even the Chinese region and stuff. Because like we were saying, it's all about the physical damage, right? So this Vanguard is such a high priority item.
So we'll see how they end up doing with this. If Ninjas of Pajamas can give us our first game 3 of the event. But it seems like it's going to be a difficult one here.
Prepare for battle.
So let's see. I really do like that Pugna pick, but is it going to be enough? We'll see Ein's performance on this Disruptor. There's so much from VP.Prodigy that really excited me after that first game.
I think, but we have to remember, like, we talk about the drafts, but the biggest problems that NiP had last game weren't drafting, right? They were the actual play issues, and like the shot calling and whatnot. So, as much as we can theory craft about the drafts and everything, it's still going to come down to the play.
Yeah. And you know, when you play the way Ninja's Pajamas did in game one, like, you can have a good draft coming in, but if you don't execute it, it's not going to matter.
30 seconds to battle.
Although this one doesn't exactly have the hardest execution to get off, you know?
I admit nothing.
You'll get that
but my
minus
sadness
armor
that you're
naturally. You have yourself that level 6 on the Slardar, having the Corrosive Haze. Looks like a Midas for Supreme is what he's got queued up so far.
Yeah, I think that's okay though, right?
Begins.
Like, it's this item just allows you to scale so much, and I don't think I think they have to scale to be able to win this game. And if Visage doesn't build an item that helps him do that, I think he's going to fall off really quickly.
Yeah.
But then you also think, like, because VPP are going to want to fight relatively early on, is this Midas going to set you back so that you can't fight? It's a difficult balance to find. And they want to get the right matchups here. They're going to send the Mars top to lane up against the Slardar. And they're going to put their Lifestealer against the PA in the lane, because it's much easier for him. Don't want to be laning up against that Slardar as a Lifestealer. Oh, they're actually going to aggro try.
They've got save down here with Ein and Epileptic Kid. How long are they going to keep? Yeah, okay. So save will TP towards top. I was wondering how long you were going to keep him in this bottom lane.
Oh, they actually want the... What?
Give me the full swap.
So they wanted to put the Mars up against the PA. Okay, fair enough. So they don't care about this Lifestealer Slardar thing. That surprises me, though.
Of course, he's got that Mars set.
So this mid lane should go really well for the Pugner. I think that's the big thing. Like, obviously Visage does okay, but like Pugner, especially when he gets to like that level 3, level 4, should start to take over a little bit.
Yeah, actually taking a bit of damage right now. Sitting a little low, just 250 health, and all he's got for the moment is a shared tank, but it's on cooldown for another 25 seconds. So might want to just be a bit more careful coming into this, as he does have a courier coming through though, with a salve mango and finishing off the null talisman.
It's so slow though, right? Like ever since the change where they changed it so when it's bringing out regen, the courier's slower.
TM taking some damage, but God's Rebuke into the spear. Soul Rip doing some damage on his DM. Can they get first blood? One more right click. Oh, he popped the salve and gets it taken out immediately by Ein.
This Undying is doing a really good job of just securing the bot lane though. Like this pick's doing such a huge amount of work right now. Like he doesn't have any regen, so he's probably just going to run in and suicide here, or like at least tank spells. But he's not going to be able to do a huge amount for now.
13 and 3 for this Phantom Assassin already.
Yeah.
And they're going to grab first blood on Era, yeah.
But he just tanks another Thunderstrike right before he dies. That's the big thing. So, like, obviously it's not great, but top lane as well. They might go on save here with the stun.
Yeah, they will come through. They've got the Bramble Maze. Shackle, though, connects on both. Epileptic Kid trying to do what he can, but the Southern Crush come through from Saberlight. Epileptic Kid keeping his Windrunner alive.
That's a really early Shackle point as well at level 2. Like, you normally don't expect it until that level 3. Because you expect the point in shout power shot on Windrun, but fair play.
Epileptic Kid, he's keeping up with where the Phantom Assassin is over bottom, at least for now. Era again just eating those spells. Another Thunder Strike comes his way. He'll just Soul Rip, keep himself on the healthier side, and keep everything in the focus away from Charlie for the moment. And again, look at that. Another Thunder Strike just continues to tank these spells. It's really the best he can do.
Yeah, but that's fine though. But the problem is like when the levels start coming out in this bot lane, right? Like the nuke damage that can come through from this Master Disruptor combo becomes so high. But look at the difference in XP between mid lane though. Like Pugna still has 3 creeps coming his way as well.
So level 5 and really Supreme.
Top lane.
Even in CS for right now. Over towards top. Take a look. Shackle hits. Slardar in trouble. Damage coming in, but there's the Cursed Crown. Slithering Crush. They have the lockdown for Epileptic, but can they get the kill with a power shot? Save says no. They look to finish off the Lifestealer, and the South keeps him alive.
I'm always
It does get
I think that was
stopped,
saves.
but I believe it did keep him, you know, still breathing.
I think that was save salve. I'm not actually sure, but
Radiant's courier has been
nice teamwork.
Meanwhile,
on, Era's
dying
courier
bottom,
dies.
Era with the Kinetic Field and the Thunder Strike. Eventually, that will take him out, and Ian gets credit for that one. Over towards bottom, 3-0 in favor of Virtus.Pro.Prodigy. Charlie
On the next
still just
courier.
trying to farm what he can, and Ian all of a sudden gets a little bit too cocky. He'll end up dead for his troubles as Charlie gets a solo kill.
mine.
Is that worth though to get the courier? Like the PA, you just give the PA like 180 gold for nothing, really, right? I don't know if that's good, but it's something. At least they get the courier.
Yeah, right now both couriers are dead bottom. So maybe it ends up working out in the end. In the end. Sure. FN's in here level 6. You can see the experience advantage that he does have. The kinetic field, that'll keep the Visage close, and with the ulti from FN, will drain the life away and allow him to get the last hit on a Supreme. So hits that 6 first, the life drain comes in handy, and all of a sudden, FN, he's pressuring the tier 1 tower over mid.
Yes.
Radiant's middle
And he gets a
tower
6-minute
is
rune
under
as well.
attack.
It's really important for VPP there in that lane that they pressure with the level 6 first that they had. It's a great rotation by the Disruptor. So yeah, not only do they get the kill, not only does the Pugna hit level 6 first, but they also get like this tower down to almost half HP. So a lot of value. And they see because the Willow's TP'd mid, they try and put the pressure onto Saberlight top at the same time. Who now has to salve up.
And, you know, we did talk about how Ninjas of Pajamas, they can potentially execute, have that minus armor, but they need to get there. And with Pugna, there's certainly an opportunity for Virtus.Pro.Prodigy to keep the pressure on and take these towers very quickly. I think in the last game they took the tower, the tier 1 tower, in a very quick time for Ninjas of Pajamas, but it didn't end up being enough.
I mean, they need to keep this mid tier 1 alive. Like, this Visage really
Saberlight
needs
in
level
trouble.
6 here.
The Bramble Maze is down, but it's not going to keep this Slardar alive. Thunder Strike with one more right click coming through from Save. Even with the Cursed Crown of the Bramble Maze, it's not enough from Crit to keep Slardar up and breathing. All the while, though, DM gets chased down by Era as well as Charlie, so it will be trade in the offlaners. Not awful for Ninjas of Pajamas, especially Charlie getting another kill.
Visage hits this level 6 in the mid now, though, and he's instantly just trying to equal the pressure back onto the Pugna again. Because he knows he hit his big timing. FN's rotating top here. Is he looking for stacks, or...?
Nobody here to really help him. The supports will cut through mid. They've got Era nearby looking at the 8-minute rune, or at least trying to get it. Save, win run, decay, it's top. Arcane Rune, FN though, hit with the Cursed Crown. They've got the Bramble Maze right there. And FN will try to survive. Shackle thrown at the Familiars. A lot of damage being done. And with the Shadow Realm Strike, and the power of Yugi's grandfather from the Shadow Realm, he'll get the kill on FN.
Yeah, a good rotation from the Undying, though, as well. Like, this PA doesn't need a huge amount of help down here anymore. He's had a pretty good start to the game. Like, he can always just farm with daggers if he's having a rough time, so... They needed to make sure they helped this Visage in the mid lane, because the Pugna was really starting to take over. And he had the Arcane Rune bottled, but he popped it just before he died, unfortunately for him. His PA's rotating top here. But Lifestealer just hit level 6. Oh, he actually didn't level the ult. Okay.
He's gone 2-3-1 for the moment, but Charlie comes top. Epileptic Kid, he's in some trouble. Gets low, gets killed. They'll take out Saberlight, but Charlie making the rotation, getting yet another kill now on a killing spree. And that all stems from that first kill in the Disruptor over bottom.
Yeah, I mean, this PA is farming so well.
Yeah.
Like, it's like 800 gold ahead of the next person. And this is a hero that doesn't, like, farm massively well early on. It's not like there's illusions that can just go and farm the jungle at the same time like a Naga, right?
So are we going to see something like, you know, Armlet into Halberd for the life stealer?
I think he has to go Halberd second item no matter what he does, whether it's Midas or, like, Armlet first. And I think if he'd have had a really good start to this game, he would have used that gloves to go Midas mid lane.
Decision trouble. Static Storm is down. Epileptic Kid continuing to give chase, trying to get the kill before the Static Storm runs out. Will do so. Dip for 30 seconds. No buyback. Familiars look over to maybe put some damage out onto Epileptic Kid and Ein, but not really much of an option for the moment. Saberlight's still just level 5, so they don't have the Corrosive Haze. They find themselves the Undying. Sorip will keep him alive a little bit longer, but here comes Epileptic Kid to finish him off. Save gets credit for the kill, and now they look over as Saberlight chases. Glimpse back one hero here to keep him alive, and now Save, who's trying to just get this tombstone, will do so, but finally Saberlight hits level 6, has the Corrosive Haze, of course the Shackle is there, because why not? Curse Crown out onto the Disruptor, as well as the Bash, and the Slithering Crush will get the kill on Ein and Save, so maybe Virtus.Pro.Prodigy staying a touch too long.
I'm really surprised Ein decided to go back in there. I think you just let the Wind Ranger die. Like, it's sad to give away the kill.
Epileptic Kid. Bash, Arena, Spear hits. Saberlight now in a lot of trouble. DM gets the kill. Supreme, Charlie, and Crit are all here to try and take out Mars in return. They've got the Curse Crown, but the Life Drain keeping DM alive. Bedlam right on top of him, and they get DM. They look over at FN. He's in some trouble now. Will try to Life Drain for his life, but it doesn't look like it's going to be enough. So DM, FN, they both drop, and all of a sudden, things are looking pretty good for Ninja Pajamas, but the Shackle onto the tower. Into the Shadow Realm, Dark World goes, looking over at Save, has Era and the rest of the team to the side. Charlie jumps in, and Supreme will get credit for another kill on Save.
This is the ninjas that we've been missing the whole tournament so far, though, right? Like, this is exactly what we're saying. They're not afraid to make these shot calls now, take fights early on. They're playing around this Undying really well, like around this Visage really well, and he's doing so much damage with the Soul Assumptions. Like, even Charlie with this drums build that he's gone for first, like, he's not going for this Battle Fury to help him farm. He wants to be able to take these fights. And it's, you know, paying massive dividends for them at the moment.
A soldier's fortune.
Epileptic Kid getting chased right into the rage. DM and Ein were trying to set up to come from behind. Have an arena in 7 seconds if they could time it out right. You can make something happen. Save also coming in, so this is going to be a big engagement. Virtus.Pro.Prodigy really looking to lay down the hammer as they pick up a bounty rune that's there at 12 minutes. Ein comes in, there's the glimpse. Saberlight only moving to the side, and now the tombstone's down to the high ground. They need to evacuate. Charlie's here. Stifling Dagger hits onto DM, and that'll send him packing, but Supreme comes in. So now, God's Rebuke, Charlie over, Arena down, trying to survive with the Bramble Maze and the slow. DM on the run, hit with the Cursed Crown, so they're going to continue to chase on this. DM, he'll turn, Spear thrown, Static Storm right on top of the Mars, maybe trying to keep him alive. A Shadow Realm Strike comes out on the DM, terrorized through, hits onto the Windrunner as well as the Mars. They'll get the kill on the DM, and they'll continue to look for more. Era moving forward, Saberlight as another Stifling Dagger comes through and crits Ein. Been decrepified, however, it doesn't look like it's gonna matter. Glimpse sending back one, but not enough.
They really don't like. They're really struggling to find that instant initiation on a hero at the moment for VPP. Like they have nobody at the moment that just jumps in and creates that like havoc, right? Like at the moment, the Mars has to just walk in with the Vanguard Arena. He needs to finish these phase boots and get the blink online, and I think they just have to split the map up and just farm for a while because at the moment they can't take these like head-on engagements. This Sana PA is just running around together and blowing people up. And it doesn't matter who turns up from VPP at the moment. They're just dying one by one, right? And FN on this Pugna had a really good start to the game, but it feels like his impact has been so small.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
They just have to try and outscale them with this Midas on the lifestealer they've got now. He actually decided to go back for it instead of the armlet.
was just gonna mention that to you. As he was, had the gloves of haste, goes into Midas. Do they expect the game to stall out that long? Can they stall out the game that long as they go over mid? They get the kill on Era. DM's the one who gets credit for that one. They'll take out the tier 1 tower as well as the arena being placed down, but that'll keep DM and FN alive. They lose Ein, so 5 positions traded. Meanwhile, save solo focused here by Supreme.
Yeah, like they can't deal with this Visage at all at the moment, right? Like even though he has a Midas, like he's so tanky and difficult to deal with. This is what I mean. I don't think they can take fights for a while. They do get the mid tier 1 though, which is important. Not all doom and gloom. Actually going for Crimson first on the Mars instead. I don't know about that. I feel like they really need this initiation. I'm not saying Crimson's a bad item, but...
Just TP's into the outpost, and waiting for him is Crit and Charlie.
Shut up already!
Go for my master.
Was interesting.
Death tax.
Crit Willow is such a joy to watch, I will say.
Yeah, 3-0-7 already.
I mean, he's really good at this hero. I feel like if anybody ever wants to learn how to play Willow, just go and watch Crit's games on it. Like, mid lane.
Kid. He's trying to farm while mid. Can he get the kill here with the glimpse? Certainly seems possible. FN now surrounded by the familiars and Supreme. Crit, of course, just digging up a Cobalt while all that's going on as FN has gone invis with the rune.
Oh, the Willow's TPing top to try and find this Mars.
DM, TP attempt, terrorize, it's there. So eventually there'll be a kill here on the DM. The question is who gets credit for it, and ends up being Charlie with the crit.
As well, much as NiP have been grouping up and playing really well this game, you know, Saberlight has suffered with it for his levels and his XP. Like, even his farm is falling a little bit behind. Like, he's going for this Vlad's first, which is fine. But he's kind of like he's not really a core this game like in some Slardar games. He's more of like a supporting act with this Corrosive Haze and the Vlads.
I feel like this move over.
Oh, what a shackle!
Shackle hits on the crit as well. Supreme taking a lot of damage. The Soul Jefferson is starting to go up here, but the Decrepify comes in, and one more shot. They'll get the kill. The Infest pops. Down goes Supreme. Visage is out of this one and continuing to chase on the crit. Life Drain. They've got a second one. The Decrepify Life Drain power shot coming through to take out the Dark Willow. Stifling Dagger thrown at FM, but can you really trust yourself jumping in onto the Pugna? So, as I was saying before that fight broke out, Epileptic Kid has made the decision, I believe, to go for the Halberd first instead of the Armlet.
Yeah, I think that's good though. Like I was saying I really wanted to see it as a second item from him, because PA is the main problem they have at the moment, right? Like when this PA joins fights, especially with this Death Zone now that Charlie has, like it's really difficult to control her up. But hopefully with the Halberd, like before this BKB comes out from the PA, should do a huge amount of work. And it's going to mean that VPP can carry on trying to take these fights if they want to, with the Halberd being up.
In trouble, drops the arena, and just trying to survive here, but again, it's not going to be easy when everybody is around you from Ninjas of Pajamas. But again, we've talked about how that's a bit of a double-edged sword for them, as you know,
they're just gonna
kill supplying, but XP is a struggle for some of these heroes.
Like with this lineup, as soon as you find a kill on the top half of the map, like it's a Roche straight away, right?
Or at least an attempted Roche.
Willow's dead.
Crit. Dark Willow goes down, the Shackle thrown at Saberlight. Saberlight hit with the glimpse, they'll get the Aegis on to Charlie, so now they're chasing for the rest. Stifling Dagger, Ein knows he's dead, turns around, gives up his life, tries to be savior for the rest of his team, and it looks like that's a successful strategy.
Yeah, they managed to trade 1-for-1. Like, it's not awful, and this Lifestealer has his Halberd now. I think if the Lifestealer was around the pit there with his Halberd complete, they might have been able to take the fight, but he just wanted to finish his item off.
Tower is under attack.
They're going to have big
up for the Slardar.
Yeah, they're going to have big problems with this PA though when the PA gets BKB. Like, I don't know what they can use Decrep defensively, which is nice, and like though they have the win run, but like the Lifestealer will be in trouble. Like, the Mars will be in trouble, the Disruptor will be in trouble. You've just got to rely on basically outplaying the bot lane.
Saberlight in some trouble, getting low here, and well, now maybe turning this with the help of the rest of the team. Ein and Save now on the run. They are maybe looking to be met by FN.
Oh, they glimpsed the PA away, so they want to fight.
Medic field, Bramble Maze down, Era coming in, Curse Crown pops, Ein in trouble, Shadow Realm Strike does a lot of damage, Slither Crush used to get the kill on Ein. FN was making the rotation, but just not quickly enough.
Yeah, this Mars can't get down to the... Well, he has TP actually, but he's just finished his Crimson Guard. They thought they could fight because the PA wasn't there, but as soon as the rest of the heroes turned up instantly, they had to run.
Ooh, they might just get FN. Charlie's right here, has a Stifling Dagger, but Decrepify. Mars coming in as well as Save.
This arena could be huge.
Is he here yet? The Infest pops. Now he shows up. They got the kill on FN. The arena is around 3 of these heroes. They're not going to be able to do anything on it. They've got themselves the Bramble Maze as well as the Curse Crown on a Save. They get the kill on the Windrunner, so 2 Dawn. Or 2 gone, not done. This ain't the Godfather.
Mars came in and they had this amazing shackle by Save, and the arena went down to go on top, but Mars had no mana to throw the spear, so they had no way of pinning the PA up against the wall. I actually think she dies there if they do. I mean, it's only the Aegis, but like, if you can take that away from them, it's such a big deal.
Mars still not going blink.
Dire's bottom tower has
Oh,
fallen.
Ein.
Oh, jeez, Ein.
Oh, he didn't take Blink Strike cast range either. Interesting. It's a lot of cast range.
You think if there was a talent for Glimpse speed, would it be taken?
Depends what it was against, but it had. Yeah, sure. Why? I mean, it could be.
Because I'm just watching that interaction where you try to glimpse away the Phantom Assassin, obviously not going anywhere quickly, and you know, nowhere too far, but you get glimpsed away at a quicker rate. Maybe you survive in some aspects, or some.
That's what I mean. Like, how? Oh my god, that decret power shot! It's like a finger of death. Oh, this is just a
BKB from Supreme.
Yeah, just to make sure he doesn't get glimpsed. That's not how you want to be using that 10-second BKB.
Radiant's top tower.
One of the perks of being a disruptor. They didn't take that tier 2 tower. That's really good from VP.Prodigy. Aeon Disc next for the Pugna. He's got Force Staff, Aether Lens, Save meanwhile. He's going MKB. It's not the same build that we saw from him in the previous game. You know, not going for that Blink Dagger this time around, having that positioning available to him.
But if nobody's going Blink, then...
Where are you initiating?
Yeah.
Dire are scanning.
Oh, they break the smoke. VPP, no.
Ooh. Glimpse sends Charlie back. I know! Force Staff back at the side of Ninjas of Pajamas.
FN force-staffed him just at the same time he decided to try and turn around. I think he would have been okay, but
Radiant's bottom
never mind.
tower is
It
under
happens.
attack.
It's not a big deal. It's just the Disruptor. Big thing there that the Lifestealer didn't die as he was trying to farm the Ancients.
Almost Blink Dagger for Slardar. Saberlight. In front of the Mars, you know, despite taking a back seat by quite a bit on this farm.
Yeah, I mean, the Mars has been the one pushing out lanes and dying a lot of the time, though, right? Like, he's 2-5-1. Had a bit of a rough game.
Curse Crown, Yules, Bramble Maze in the Bedlam, crit by himself, gets the kill on to Save.
Oh, nice. I love these pauses. Because you never know if they're BM or not. Like, they'll pretend it's not, but we don't believe them. Like, right, chat interaction, here it comes. You ready? Same as yesterday. Press 1 if you think Crit's being really BM and is just pausing to annoy Save. Press 2 if you think he's a mannered gentleman. You know, I think I know what Twitch chat's going to do.
Press 3.
Oh, no, not again.
If you're muting the stream. But We can't press 3 if the stream's muted, so we're not going to see any.
Oh, that's
threes.
true, actually. You've big brained them there.
Damn.
Because if they press 3, how would they know?
Then you're just lying.
Twitch,
Yeah,
you
you're
wouldn't
just
lie,
lying.
would you?
Yeah.
That doesn't sound like you, smiley face.
Or be toxic. Come on, guys. It's unlike you. Y'all are the nicest people. So here we are back at the game. 5,000 net worth lead here for Ninjas of Pajamas. Not a lot of outs, it's looking like, for VP.Prodigy. So, you know, what can we look towards if you're VPP or VPP fan?
They need to just get their key items up still. Like this Pugner's just finished A on disc. Not combined it yet because he wants to hold it for when he really needs to combine. But this Lifestealer, when he gets the AC as well, will be a lot stronger for that armor for his team. Like, oh, DM bot lane. I was just going to look at his item progression, but I think he's got bigger problems than that at the moment.
Yeah, it's not being able to get that progression at all. The
who's in
arena,
trouble?
though, does go down. Saberlight, well, hit with the spear. The lockdown's there. They just don't have the damage to kill him. I'm going to look over at Save, a Stifling Dagger doing quite a bit here with Corrosive Haze out onto the Windrunner. Avoiding that Slithering Crush just barely. This time FN force-staffs his teammate into the right direction.
Yeah, crit circle is the right part of the map though. Like he knows that they need to find the Lifestealer. That's like the big kill, right? They do take the bot tier 2 though. They can look to try and take the mid tier 2 and the top tier 2 now with this rest of the... Do they still... Oh, they used the Aegis before, didn't they? They lost it, sorry. So. Good timeout. But this Life is just free farming away towards his AC up here in the top lane, which is... He's going to be loving this. Like... They just need to buy time for him. I just worry about DM more than anybody, and the fact they have no initiation is like a big issue.
This lead's just extending and extending, kind of what we saw in Game 1 from VP.Prodigy. Claims Kinetic Field, Static Storm, but the BKB is there, so now a lot of trouble here for the side of VP.Prodigy. They get the kill on a Hein, and now they look over at DM. Down goes Mars. There's nothing that VP.Prodigy can really do to defend on this, but they've got the Blink as well as the Slithering Crush out on an FN. That'll pop the A on disc. Infest gets popped. Epileptic Kill looks over at Supreme. He pops the BKB. Arena's down. The spear hits onto Charlie, but FN taking so much damage. On the high ground he goes, but he won't survive it. Get the kill into the Pugna, taking out a third. Buyback from DM.
You sound like
Might finally see the first Game 3 of the event.
Oh my god, don't excite me too much, because I'll expect it. This Visage almost has an AC of his own, by the way, to match up against the Lifestealers, so potentially not even going to mean as much as I thought it would for the Lifestealer.
They see Epileptic at bottom, they immediately smoke to try and go kill him.
Hey, he's just going to rage TP though. He knows something's up.
And he just heads towards top.
Are scanning.
I mean, Charlie is 10-0-10, and you know that all started with the kill on to the Disruptor. Was the courier worth it?
But that's the power of the Undying in the laning stage as well, though, right? We were talking about for the first 5 waves or so, 5 or 6 waves, that the Undying just controlled the lane for him so much that he was allowed to just get whatever he wanted. So the kill's an extra catalyst, but the Undying being this, you know, great babysitter in the lane helped him more than anything else.
Mindbreaker picked up here for save. Ninjas of Pajamas setting up over towards mid, and let's see what they can do. Is they've got 3 heroes here for the side of VP.Prodigy up towards the top. They're trying to finish off this AC as best they can. They're by the secret shop. If they can grab the gold for this for Epileptic Kid, finish off the AC, and I guess see what they would do. Still very hard, down by so much.
So Crit is going for the second item blink, by the way, so he's going to have this Yule's blink, and like we talked about in the draft, I think it's his job to find the Pugna every single fight. They have to make sure they can control FN up, because without FN they don't really have anything. Like this Mars, because they have their BKBs now on ninjas, like, this master doesn't offer a real threat because he doesn't have a blink for the instant initiation. Like, what does Arena do when they have BKB, right? Like, even when they don't have BKBs up, like, the PA can jump out the arena with the blink strike.
Such a quick Roche. Oh my god. And that's the second Aegis of the game. Now an Aegis on Charlie. Like, what do you do? 9-second BKB. We saw, you know, Static Storm gets placed on him when he pops the BKB and just charges at VP.Prodigy. Ein goes, hit you with the Static Storm, and then Phantom Assassin just says, hit you with a crit dagger. You're dead.
Bye.
I'm not. I mean, it is so disheartening. That's for sure.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
There's almost a nullifier on the PA as well, so this decrep isn't even... The decrep isn't even going to save FN's life anymore, or like whoever uses it on. Because as soon as that nullifier comes out, it's just going to purge it off straight away. Finds a great fairy fire on the PA as well.
So, just see as Ninjas of Pajamas, they take over the map. They've extended their lead by 3,000, going Ags next on the Visage. Phantom Assassin going into the Nullifier. Almost actually has that Sacred Relic. This is a very farmed 1-2 for Ninjas of Pajamas. That's for sure. AC finish for Epileptic Kid. And it was that, you know, early on, Epileptic Kid was going for the armlet, and I think there was a couple of bad fights that caused him to go from the armlet into the Heaven's Halberd. Do you think he would have been better off getting that armlet into the Halberd eventually if it had come faster, right?
Yeah, potentially, but then at the same time, like, he would have been so far behind now without the Midas. Like, I think the Midas was fine, but I don't know, it just feels like they took so many bad fights in a row because they can't fight into this PA. Like, because Charlie had such a good start, and Charlie took part in all the early fights, they had like a good 2 or 3 minute window on VPP where they took couple of really good fights around the mid-tier 1. But after that...
Static Storm, BKB's being popped by Supreme. There's the Infest being popped. Supreme taking a lot of damage, but he has the cheese, so he's A-okay. The Bramble Maze locks up Ein as well as Save. Shackle gets thrown. Power Shot comes in. A lot of damage on Era, but Ein and FN are already gone. Era's going to survive here with under 50 health. They look over at DM. Epileptic Kid on the run. The Terrorize comes in. They'll grab the kill onto the Lifestealer, taking out DM, and we are getting what we have been hoping for the entire tournament, a Game 3. Ninjas in Pajamas, this is the best we've seen from them yet, and they get themselves a well-deserved Game 2.
Yeah, much better for them. I'm so pleased for them that they've finally shown what they're capable of this tournament, though, right? Like, not only did we get a Game 3 in the tournament, but for them, I think that was really important. Like we said, if they go out of this tournament without performing as well as they know they can, they'll have been so disappointed. And it could have been a bit of a crusher for them, but they played so much better this game. Their early game looked 100 times better. Like, they weren't afraid to make these plays, like, take the fight around the mid-tier 1 relatively early. Like, even the PA came over, went for these early drums. And it's nice to see Saberlight playing more of a sacrificial role, I think, in that 3. Because a lot of the time when he plays like these Underlords and Centaurs and things, you know, he does get a huge amount of farm for himself. But it's nice to see him be more versatile here and play a kind of like this third support almost, right? Which normally is a bad thing when you say that about an offlaner. But, you know, I think Saberlight played really well here. I think Crit was definitely